Hello and welcome back to the Boss House. I'm Bo. This is my journey to find financial stability for me, my partner, and his 3 kids. This is a little different video for me. This is my mid-year overview or recap or check-in, however you want to call it. I'm just going to check in on my goal progress and check in on my spending for the year so far. So, my goal number 1 was for Christmas decorations and the Christmas meal. I was planning on saving $500 for that, and I'm using the penny challenge. So far, I have $384.80. So I am more than on track for that. I'm very happy about that. Goal number 2 was to add $1,000 to my emergency fund, and for that, I was using a $1,000 challenge. I completed the challenge, but that put me to where I started the year at. So I'm still doing this again. I want to try to get this done again and fund my emergency fund some more. So currently I have $45 in the $1,000 challenge, but I have technically completed this challenge already. So that's that. And of course, I'm going to fully fund this. I'm going to fully fund my emergency fund once my house sells. So this won't really matter, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to keep contributing just because it's a good habit to have. Speaking of house selling, goal number 3 was to add $1,300 to my house fund. For that, I was using the 52-week challenge. I scrapped that challenge because I was adding more than this anyway. This goal is complete. I added much more than this, but now, of course, my house budget has credit card debt. So I'm going to keep contributing to that. And then goal number 4, my annual subscriptions. Sorry, another car going by. My annual subscriptions and bills. I wanted to save $408.94 for that. I met that goal and spent some of it on subscriptions. So I am still contributing to this, but I technically have enough to pay for the rest of my subscriptions for the year because I have $322 in here still after paying for a subscription. So I'm going to keep contributing $35 a month to that, but it is technically already everything's paid for the year. I have the money to pay for everything for the year. So I'm considering that goal met already. And then save for the cruise. This is my friend's wedding cruise or honeymoon cruise, however you want to call it. I'm using the $2,000 challenge to fund that. And I currently have $1,323 in that challenge, in that fund, and then I already paid a deposit on the cruise of $198, so in total, I have saved for this challenge $1,521, which puts me ahead of schedule, and I'm super stoked about that, because this was kind of a stretch goal. I wasn't sure how fast I'd be able to do this. So thankfully, with working some overtime and having some a couple of little things happen, I've gotten pretty far ahead of that. So I'm super stoked about that. I actually feel insanely good about these challenges. I had no idea that I would make progress this fast, and I feel, I'm kind of proud of myself, if I do say so myself. And right now it looks like I'm on track for all of these to be completed this year, which, oh my God, budgeting by paycheck, I don't know what it is exactly about budgeting by paycheck, but it feels like everything is easier to keep up with because I guess it's the budget is in bite-sized chunks. So it feels more manageable. It feels like bad things don't affect me as much, and good things make a difference faster, if that makes sense. But in any case, that's my goal progress for the year so far, and let's go on to the expenses. the scary, not so fun part. It's a little terrifying. Basically, what it came down to, everything worked out to like zero-based budgets, basically. I was rolling over money in the beginning because I was kind of messing up the timing for some of my bills. But I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not rolling over anything anymore. I'm not saying that I will never again, but it's going pretty. I'm much better about that than I was in the beginning of the year. But if you notice, if you look here, I have spent more than I made basically every month except May, which is terrifying and not what I like. I'm really hoping I can turn this around. It hasn't been looking super great, which is wild because I'm making the progress in my savings challenges. I'm making the progress that I want to make, but still, like, the first half of the year was kind of a struggle. I don't know. It's kind of wild to me, like, how that happens at the same time. But in any case, there are a few things you can see that like changed over time, and I am going to use this to reevaluate my budget once the house sells, because then I'm going to have a car again, and I need to be able to figure out like a plan for that. So I'm going to use the beginning of the year to plan for the new vehicle and how my budget will change again. In any case, I guess I'll just go through like what's changed and a little reminder of all my emergencies, because I've had several emergencies, y'all. This year has been an adventure. So in the beginning of the year, I was paying some of my partner's debts. Only did that for 3 months because he was working for a job where the health insurance was way more expensive than he was used to. So I helped him out a little bit. That is done. But it looks like that was a total of like, $600 that I helped him out with for his debt. It's not a small amount. It could have helped me a lot in my own budget, but you know, teamwork makes the dream work and all that. I'd rather help him out a little bit than end up homeless because he was paying health insurance instead of rent. So there's that. And then Capital One credit card. The minimum payment for this has been, I think the most it's been this year is like $112 or $110, something like that. I've consistently, like every month I've paid more than that, which is amazing to me. I'm super happy with it. This does have a really low interest rate. It's only 4%. So it has not been my highest priority. But I have still been sending consistently more than the requirement. So, more than the minimum. So the least I paid was $125, and the most I paid was in May for $622.79, which is significant to me. That was a big push. And then the phone bill has remained the same. That's $80. It's been this way since the beginning. I do want to eventually change over to Mint Mobile because Mint Mobile is cheaper. The only thing is, then my phone bill would have to become a sinking fund, because with Mint Mobile, you like prepay for a certain number of months at a time. So I'm going to have that money set aside before I can switch over. But that's okay. I can do it as soon as the house sells. That's one of the things I'm going to take care of. And then car wash, $17.99. That stopped after April when my car was totaled, which I'm still kind of salty about because that was a paid off vehicle that I mean, it had a lot of problems, and I put way too much money into fixing it, but at least I didn't have a car loan. Oh my goodness. In any case, that was $17.99, and that's gone now. And then Spotify is $10.89, and that stayed the same. I did not pay Spotify in my June budget because I budget by paycheck. So in the 2 paychecks, in the 28 days of my June budget, Spotify didn't come out. So I am still paying it, but it just didn't come out because it wasn't in those 28 days. So it didn't come out in June. And then renter's insurance, that went up a little bit. I wasn't too pleased about that. But again, that did not come out in the June budget because of the day that it fell on. And then car insurance, it went up, and then my boyfriend's car was totaled out, and so the bill went down and up, and now my car is totaled. So no car insurance for now. Once I get a car again, I am gonna budget for this $299 until I know how much it's actually gonna be. But that's kind of how that's gonna go. 'Cause again, I budget my income for the worst case scenario, and I budget my bills for the worst case scenario as well. So I am going to budget for $299 once I get a vehicle again. It'll probably be less than that, but let's be real, it won't hurt anything to over budget for it. And also, once I get car insurance again, I'm going to pay it in 6 months chunks instead of monthly. Because again, the house will sell. The house will sell, y'all. It's going to sell. So I'll have a big chunk of money up front to pay that. So I'll save a little bit of money that way. And then YouTube has been $22.99 this whole time. I do have YouTube Premium Family. That's why it's so much. Because me and my partner both watch YouTube as our main source of entertainment. And then what's next? Oh, train fare. So train fare has been weird. It's been weird. My train fare is what I started off paying just my train fare. That is $75. But now that comes out of my check pre-tax, and I'm paying for my boyfriend and his kids' train fare because we don't have a vehicle at all. So things get a little weird. But starting once I have a car, I'm going to budget, I guess, $95 a month. It's going to be $95 because the $75 for my boyfriend's monthly bus pass, and then $20 for the kids, because whenever we take the kids somewhere, like, they don't have 30-day passes because they don't ride the bus enough to make it worth it. So yeah, that's going to be $20 here and there. So that's fine. And then fuel and tolls, obviously, after April, I didn't have fuel payments because I don't have a vehicle. So I am going to budget for the worst case scenario. Once I get a vehicle again, I'm going to budget for this $452.80 or $453, whatever. I'm going to budget for that to begin with until I see how much I'm actually spending, and then I'll adjust accordingly. Sorry, cars keep going past. Dining out. I have gone over budget for this one a few times. It's not been my favorite, but I usually stay underneath. So I'm probably just going to average this out and or just stick to $20. I might just stick to $20 a paycheck for this. As I think it averages out to less than $40 a month. So yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'll keep that. And then, groceries, I've been really good about staying under budget with groceries, except for this month. February is Yeah, February was the month that I went over budget, and then I adjusted it so that now I budget for $440, just in case. I try not to spend that much, but life be life, and sometimes, and then health. I think I'm going to continue budgeting $120 a month for this, because the only time I went over was when I didn't stuff it in February. I can't remember why I didn't stuff it in February. I might have just forgotten, but yeah, the average stays under 120, so I think I'm going to keep it there. Shopping. This is shopping for the household stuff. I only went over one time in January by $6.74, so I'm just going to keep budgeting $40 for that. And then miscellaneous. I've had a couple of weird times here, but I think I'm going to keep this at $40, just because I was thrown off by this. And then, yeah, I really did not send much to my sinking funds. I did not put much of my sinking funds in February. That was a weird month. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to keep clothing at $20 unless I start making decent money at Lyft once I get a car, and then that will probably go up. Subscriptions. I'm going to keep subscriptions what it was, the $35 a month. These weird amounts were just me getting up to the fully funded amount, so I'm not concerned about that, even though this is like wild variations. It's fine. And then pets, this $40, I'd really like to increase this. This is his food that I make from scratch. I make it in bulk, so that's why there's the occasional big amount, but I think I'm pretty good on this. I think $40 is decent. And then registration and license. This, I think we're going to keep this the same. Well, it's going to go back up to $60 once I have a car. So that's fine. And then emergency fund, of course. I've been adding to the emergency fund through the $1,000 challenge after February, so that's why this is blank, but that's fine. And then savings challenges. This is wild variations, but only because I've had excess money a few times. I'm gonna stick with my goals for the rest of the year, and we'll see what happens. Probably. Let's be real, I'm probably going to have all my savings challenges fully funded before the end of the year. So we are going to reassess after the house sells. Hopefully I can make some new goals and get those started before the new year. That'd be awesome. Or just save for the house. Well, no, that would be a new goal. Anyway, so that's fine. And then my unbudgeted spends, these are basically my emergencies-ish. I did have this car maintenance. Did I skip car maintenance? I might have skipped car maintenance talking about it. I don't know how much I'm going to budget for car maintenance. I clearly was not budgeting enough in the beginning of the year. And then I had 2 maintenance emergencies, basically, to repair issues right before my car was totaled. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to budget for that. Once I get a new vehicle, it'll probably be somewhere in the $300 range, but we shall see. And then I did add this last line item for the house, because now whatever's left in my budget is going to my house budget. So this is, oh my goodness, I didn't even say it. This is my yearly spending for my personal budget. This does not include my house budget. So this line item is just money coming from my personal budget going to my house budget. And that was $92.97 in May and $620.67 in June. This is not budgeted. This is whatever's left. So this is going to be like wildly varying until the house sells, and then nothing else. So yeah, I guess that's it. That is how my budget has been going for this year. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you're weirded out by the subscriptions especially, I wasn't sure how to do this because I put when I added 2 subscriptions as well as when I spent subscriptions. That's one of those weird things because it added in the savings used. So it's like more in the savings used and more spent. I don't know. It's weird. I'm still adjusting. I'm still learning this new budgeting method. I really like it. I really like it a lot. And I think, honestly, everyone should budget by paycheck because then you know exactly how long your money has to last. It's kind of like living paycheck to paycheck, except on purpose. And you can still like get ahead. So like I have my like account buffer that allows me to be like a little more liberal with my budget, and I think that makes me feel a lot better about this because it does get a little stressful sometimes. I will admit it does get a little stressful when I don't plan things out perfectly and I end up in situations where I have to like use my account buffer and stuff. I feel like when I was budgeting by month I didn't have as much control over where my money was going, and it was harder to do check-ins on my budget. I feel a lot better about doing the budget by paycheck method, and I highly suggest. I am not a financial professional, as you can tell from my totally messy finances and my chaotic life. But I do highly suggest that anyone and everyone get into paycheck budgeting and zero-based budgeting, because giving all of your money a job and then telling your money how long it needs to last and making it last that long by spreading things out evenly, basically throughout your paychecks, it makes my budget feel a lot more stable, and it makes me feel like I have more control over where my money's going. But with that being said, that's it. This has been a pretty long video, but if you hung in there, I appreciate you so much. I love you. You deserve financial stability, and I hope you have a great day on purpose. Bye.